And an absolute deconstruction of the Sixers by the Celtics in Game 4. They managed to pick them even with Joel Embiid returning, and I want to talk more about Embiid returning in just a minute. But while Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, let's be honest, they were both productive. They didn't even have to carry the offense in this one. I want to know what stood out to you most just in this dominating win we did see on the road for the C's.
Yeah, this is the version of the Celtics that we expected to see for much of the series. The Sixers stole a game in Game 2 on the road in Boston, and, credit to them. But the Celtics are just so much better, and we saw it tonight. You mentioned the Jays didn't even have to carry them because Peyton Pritchard went absolutely wild. He goes for 32 points, almost set a Celtics franchise record for most points coming off the bench in a playoff game, just 2 off of what Kevin McHale did back in the day. But he was also 6 of 12 from deep. And the Celtics have had a theory of the case, Kiana, for a while now, and that is they're going to take more threes and make more threes than the opposition. Some nights they don't fall, then they're gettable. Tonight they fell. They took 53 three-point attempts and made 24. The Sixers couldn't come anywhere close to that, right? They took 30 and only made 9. It was sort of reminiscent of Game 1 when they only made 4. And I kind of like, on the one hand, I think, well, the Sixers can't really keep up with that. On the other hand, I think, what were the Sixers thinking not taking more threes earlier in this game before it got out of hand? Because you knew what the Celtics were doing. You saw how hot Peyton Pritchard was. And before you knew it, they tipped the ball, Kiana, and the game was over.
It literally was from the start of this game, and the Boston didn't look back at any point. You would think we would see a little bit of a different play, a different juice from Philly because Joel Embiid making his return. And let's be honest, he did look strong in stretches and still got you 26, 10, and 6. But do you think his return actually changed the flow enough for Philly, or did Boston just adjust too quickly?
I mean, it didn't matter that he was out there. It was great to see him out there, and he played 34 minutes, and that was way more than I think anybody anticipated that he would be out there. I thought he would have been on a minutes restriction, maybe 20 to 25 minutes. Don't forget that he's only 17 days removed from having his appendix out, but he looked fantastic. He wasn't the problem tonight. It was just that the Celtics absolutely swarmed the Sixers and overwhelmed them. It was so bad, Kiana. So I take notes, right? I'm a professional analyst here, so I take little notes on the game, and I'm looking at my notes here for the Sixers, and it says disastrous first quarter. And then there aren't any more notes because there was nothing else to note about the Sixers except for that Joel Embiid returned, and then they got swarmed and swamped. And this is almost over. There's only 4 more quarters left of Sixers basketball. The Celtics are going to wrap this thing up in Game 5.
Okay, well, I do want to talk a little bit more about Game 5 because, listen, nothing is guaranteed. Anything can happen. Their backs are against the wall. But if you are Philly, what is the one thing that gives you belief that this series can still get back to Game 6?
To get back to Game 6. I mean, this has happened in the past with the Sixers where, they'll steal another game and then they'll just prolong their humiliation against the Celtics. I am actually surprised, as you and I have discussed here on this program, that they even got Game 2 and stole one in the series. I thought it was going to be a sweep, but the Sixers aren't, and certainly Sixers fans aren't deluded into thinking that they could actually win this series. As everybody knows, the Sixers and the Celtics have played the most playoff series of any 2 teams in NBA history against each other, right? And the Celtics always come out on top. They have come out on top in every single postseason series against the Sixers since 1982. It's 2026. I would be shocked if the Sixers steal another game in Boston and force Game 6 because, again, the Celtics are just that much better than them. I anticipate that the Celtics will win that game. I think it's a 1-2-3 Cancun situation for the Sixers, and everybody will say the Celtics are moving on.
Ever so kind gentleman's sweep that John is anticipating happening with this series, but nonetheless, it's tough when you have Tatum, you have Brown, and you have Pritchard combining for 82 points, I believe, of their 128. It's going to be a hard trio and just roster because of their depth as well, but a hard roster to stop. But Sixers are going to try to do it as Game 5. That's set for Tuesday, and I know you and I will be talking about it. We'll see how everything takes shape. Thank you so much, John Gonzalez, as always, taking a look at the largest road win in Celtics playoff history. This game, their 32-point victory, is tied for the longest. And we remember back in 2010 against the Cavaliers, they had another masterful performance against the Pistons back in 1991. And now Boston just 1 win away from sending Philly home, and they're on to the next.
So
really control this game. Again, we talked about Joel Embiid off the jump, how he kind of got things going for Philadelphia, but the Celtics responded, and you saw the 22-5 run, which led to them being up by 16, and they never really looked back. Chris, what did you like most about
Again,
that?
like early on, it felt a little jagged, right? Like Embiid got his points, but halfway through the first quarter, it was what, 9-8, and just didn't feel like the Celtics had much rhythm at that point. And then the bench starts rolling in, and whether it was Pritchard doing what he's doing or just guys elevating the energy level, felt like that's when the things really just kind of started to launch. Credit to Vooch for coming in. Again, Keita, another game where he has a little bit of foul trouble. But Peyton lighting the fuse, all of a sudden, man, Celtics just took off from there.
And I thought we moved the ball well. Like, it wasn't just a one-man show. I thought we found the hot hand, found the mismatches, found the open guy.
Okay, and as a result, again, the Celtics were up by 16 at that point. We're able to edge Philadelphia in the second quarter to ride a near 20-point lead going into the break.
That buzzer beater was wild. I know we're just like trained that he does. This is what he does. Just crazy. They're back-breaking plays for opposing teams. To watch Peyton Pritchard, who you know is going to go up with it in the final second, and he just floats it in.
Well, to that point, wasn't there a moment, or didn't you feel like it reached a point in the regular season where teams were taking that away, where they knew that the Celtics wanted to go to Peyton Pritchard to take that shot? So how does he get open enough to take that?
They did trap him at half court with two guys. He just broke the trap. I mean, he's not an easy guy to trap. It's Peyton Pritchard, and ever since the grenade he caught and shot and made, he's been great. I mean, like look at his mentality today, and we're gonna need that. It's not. We can't just have it this game after he has a goose egg and two, right? We're going to need Peyton Pritchard to be more aggressive. He don't have to score 30 every night, but he has to be aggressive. We need scoring, and we need to take the pressure off of Tatum and Brown.
Okay. Meanwhile, let's go to Joe Mazzulla and find out what he has to say about this win in Philadelphia tonight. The Celtics and the coaches' press conference is presented by Amica Insurance, the exclusive auto, home, and life insurance partner of the Boston Celtics. Here's Joe Mazzulla back in Philly.
Joe, playoff career high for Peyton. What can you say about his competitive character, knowing the career journey he's been through and just seeing his two-way evolution?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the key is just, his two-way evolution. I mean, he's been on a journey since he's gotten in the NBA, and he's started, he's, not started, has passed up, come off the bench, has had there, but throughout it, he's kept a level of professionalism, consistency, but like mental toughness. So, we're at our best when he's aggressive and he's bought into any role that's necessary to winning, and just cares about competing, cares about the right stuff.
Joe, you guys kind of owned the boards there. They didn't get an offensive rebound until the third quarter. What did you see there, and how did that kind of impact you guys building the big lead?
Yeah, I mean, I think, it's been a strength of ours. I credit the guys for buying into that. It's been a strength of ours getting extra possessions, but it's on both ends. I mean, they do a great job of rebounding, and so, we have to meet the challenge. And, we've met the challenge one game, and we got to meet it again 2 days from now. So, rebounding is a huge key because of our ability to get out and run, our ability to get extra possession. So we met it tonight. We got to meet it again.
Joe, yesterday I asked you about stopping momentum runs for the Sixers. It felt like the kind of inverse was true tonight. Like, you guys rode a lot of big swing runs, like Peyton shot making, Jason shot making late. Jalen went through a few stints where he was drawing a lot of fouls. Like, as a coach, what's the key to sort of nursing those opportunities, like reading and seeing in real time, like, okay, this guy's got it going, letting it flow, and I guess playing off of what was a good road crowd too? Like, is there anything that goes into that?
No, it just comes down to controlling the game, having an understanding and awareness of what's going on. I mean, I thought we did a good job managing the game. Even when we weren't making shots, our offensive rebounds, and we didn't turn it over, and we were able to rebound, and then obviously they're going to make a run, and so when they made their run, we were able to manage that with getting to the free throw line.